So dancers, it's time to do some foot and ankle exercises. The things that I'm going to show in this video, you can do as a warm-up before you dance. And I would strongly recommend you not only do that, but do these foot exercises on a regular basis, maybe once a week or at least every other week, to keep your feet in good shape to dance. Most of us never pay attention to our feet. We stick them in shoes and we walk on them and we hike in them. And they need care just like the rest of our body needs care. If I didn't raise my shoulder up for a couple of years and then I tried to reach up to do something, my shoulder would be frozen. I wouldn't be able to do it. The same thing goes with the foot. So in order to keep deformities happening like toes crossing over, start now preventing that type of thing so you have good contact with the floor and your feet are ready to go to dance. Let's get started. One quick message before we get started on these exercises. As a physical therapist, I just have to say, having discomfort with any exercise or stretch is okay. Discomfort, I feel a pull, that's fine. If you're feeling, ow, that hurts, that's not okay. Stop immediately. Do less of the motion. See if you're okay with doing less. If that still gives you sharp pain, then you need to go see a doctor and get it checked out to be sure what you're dealing with. The basic exercises I've given with people with bone spurs and plantar fasciitis and other things. They're basic physical therapy foot exercises 101. But always check with a doctor if you're having sharp pain or any discomfort. Okay, we're ready to get started with our foot and ankle exercises. And if you haven't watched my body alignment video, do that first. I go over a lot of things about how to stand and about a plumb line and about cues to keep good posture. So the last thing we want to do is have bad posture, do a bunch of exercises and have our neck and back hurt. So watch that video first, please. So before I show you the actual foot exercises, let's just talk about sitting. You should be in a chair where your hips and knees are almost level and your knees, hips, and feet are in one line. So I'm not bringing my knees in, I'm not bringing my knees out. I'm in a comfortable position here in good alignment. My back is lifted with sternal lift. You'll know what that is if you watch the alignment video. And from the side, you can see that my thighs are almost parallel to the floor. A little bit down is okay. But if I'm in a really high chair, it's going to be harder to do the exercises and more uncomfortable. Same thing holds if the chair is bringing my knees toward my chest. So this is about perfect for me so I can maintain good posture and form while I do these foot exercises. Let's get started. Heel raises, keeping the toes straight and long. From the side, the pad of the big toe stays down. If it comes up, you won't be getting a good stretch in through the bottom of the foot, which is the plantar fascia, down and through here. Toes need to stay straight and long. If the underside of your foot is tight, people will typically scrunch their toes trying to lift their heel up. You should only lift the heel the amount where you can keep the big toes and the rest of the toes flat and straight and long. The reason for this is when we walk, I need that mobility for normal range of motion when I walk. If I don't have that flexibility, I'm going to have to lift my foot up prematurely. So for nice long steps, and normal steps, you need to have this range of motion. So lifting your heels up, keeping your ankles in good alignment, toes straight and long, 10 times. You can bring your feet a little bit farther away if it's a little bit uncomfortable for you, or you can bring it a little bit closer to have a good stretch. But make sure each time your heels can come down with the floor. If my feet are very close to my body, my heels are up in the air. They're not in contact with the floor. So my heels come down each time. And I'm doing these slowly. As you can see, I'm adjusting my toes to make sure they're straight and long, that each toe is in contact with the floor. I don't want to have any overlapping toes. And if I show the other side, I can't lift my heel as much up on this side as I could the other because I have no cartilage here from a foot surgery. So I'm doing what I can without straining or making my right foot hurt. So if you have a limited range of motion on one side because you've been injured or because you had a surgery, be respectful of that. So the next exercise is lifting up the forefoot, a heel raise. From the side, if my foot is close to my body, I can't raise my foot up very far. If my foot's a little farther from my body, I'll be able to lift it more easily with less discomfort. So for this one, your shin should be, that's vertical to the floor, so a little bit out so that you don't strain on this exercise. So 10 times lifting the forefoot up and down. Make sure your ankles are in good alignment. That's incorrect. Little toe and big toe, raise up off the floor the same amount. And if it becomes a little uncomfortable, scoot your feet a little bit farther away from you. Your knees stay apart in alignment with your foot. And you go slowly so you do the full range of motion and you can watch that your foot is not doing this. Forefoot inversion, eversion. Your forefoot is from here down to your toes. That's the forefoot area. So I'm not moving my ankle so much as my midfoot. So little toes down, big toes up, trying to keep the knees still, and reverse. Okay, so that's 10. Be careful of the position of your feet. They can be a little bit farther away from you. Again, if your feet are really close, it's going to be much more difficult to do this. So bring your feet away from your body a little bit. An advanced form of this exercise is to play the piano one direction from the little toes, one toe each, and then you could try to go the opposite direction. Much more difficult. Food for thought. Next exercise is towel scrunches. You can do this one with a towel or without, and it's working the toe and foot intrinsic muscles, teeny tiny muscles. So I'm going to show from the side. To scrunch the towel toward me, I'm going to be curling my toes, but my heel stays in contact with the ground. So that's scrunching toward me, and then I'm going to push away. So I start with my toes are up in the air, I put them down, and I push away into full extension. So if I do this with a towel, you just stick a towel on the floor, put your foot on top, it just gives you a little feedback. So you want to go slow so that you go through full range of motion. If I do fast, I'm only going to be flickering through partial range of motion. Better to do 5 slow than 10 fast. And after you've done 10 scrunching towards you, my toes are up and flexed, and I'm going to push out and away. And my heels are staying still on the ground. I'm not moving my heels back and forth. Heels stay stable, and I'm just pushing away. If this is difficult for you to do, bring your feet a little farther away from you. And do about 10. So as you move your ankle up and down for this next exercise, make sure that your ankle stays in good alignment, that you're not bringing your foot in or out as you go. So you shouldn't see any break here. It should be big toe and little toe up at the same time and down at the same time. So your ankle stays in good alignment. Okay, ankle plantar dorsiflexion. I'm going to extend one knee, and if it's uncomfortable for you to hold your leg up at all, It can go down at this angle, just the knee needs to be straight. That will give you a better stretching through your calf muscle. So I'm going to lead through my metatarsals as I point the foot and bringing the toes up as I go up and down slowly 10 times. And I'm going slowly so that I'm sure that my ankle is not going inward or outward. I'm maintaining good alignment and I'm getting full range of motion. Through the forefoot, toes last. And I'm not scrunching my toes. My toes are in alignment with my body. And I'm sitting nice and tall. And then 10 the other side. If I scrunch my toes, I can't extend my ankle all the way down, and that's what we want. That's a pretty foot, is extending this part of the ankle, not leaving it here with scrunched toes. So be sure that you're leading with the forefoot and your toes are just extending in line with the foot, no farther. Do not scrunch up the toes. Will not give you a nice foot. Quality is more important than quantity. Do 5 slow if you're short on time. Toe separators. These are gel. They're kind of cushy. You can buy these online. You could also use the nail salon toe separators if you wish. They're a little less aggressive than this. And if these hurt at all when you first put them on, take them off. Pain is not okay. Discomfort is okay, but not pain. And I'm going to slip this over my foot. And if you put the separator toward the end of the toes, it's going to be more of an aggressive stretch, or you could bring it closer to the base of the toes. I have really long toes, so I have that option. Okay, so I'm going to show just with the toe separators on one foot. You can do the scrunching exercise, the towel scrunch exercise and pushing away. I can do the little toe down and big foot toe down, the forefoot inversion, eversion exercise. I can play the piano with these, try to each direction. Or I can just wiggle my toes a little bit, move my ankle around with these things on. So 1 to 5 minutes is good with these. You can leave them 20, 30 minutes. I would not walk with these on because, as you can see, it puts my toes up in the air and that's going to make you very unstable. So leave these on so long as you don't have any pain. A little discomfort, ooh, I'm feeling a good stretch, that's okay, but sharp pain is not. So let pain be your guide. Self-foot massage. So easy thing to bring in a dance bag or a suitcase, balls. So this is a tennis ball, and these are little rubber balls that came in like a big bag of different sizes. There's some even smaller than this. So with the ball, you're just going to roll your foot over it, putting as much pressure on top of the ball as is comfortable. And you can go circles, side to side, whatever kind of feels good for a massage. From the side, that's what it looks like. So 1 to 5 minutes, whatever feels good to you. And it's usually a good idea to try some of the smaller balls. I'll just use the little one. And with a smaller size ball, that's going to give me a deeper massage in through the tiny little intrinsic foot muscles. You do not want to use a marble. A marble is going to be way too stiff. Rubber ball. These will actually bounce if I tried. And anything in between is fine too. So kind of feel what size ball gives you the best massage and go with that, and maybe bring a couple in your dance bag or in your suitcase when you travel. It's a nice thing to do after dancing for long hours. If it starts to hurt, you stop.